So how does margins affect the profit losses in your investments like stocks or real estate? This is what we'll see today. Investing by taking debt or margin is a double-edged sword. It enhances both profits and losses in multiplied manner. So let's understand this concept. Suppose you have taken position of 100,000 rupees. This is the total investment value. Now if you see leverage it's to X, meaning our equity is 50,000, basically position divided by leverage. So the rest is debt, which is 100,000 minus 50,000. And there are no free lunches in life, meaning we have to pay interest on the debt, which is 10% in our case. The first column here is returns on total position. We can understand it like we have taken a stock of 100 rupees and the first column is return on this stock. Now second column is simply how much the position becomes after the returns, so 100% return on 1 lakh becomes 2 lakh. Third column is how much equity becomes. If we simply reduce debt from the position value, we get value of equity because debt is not ours, we need to repay the debt. Now we come to equity returns. You can clearly see 50,000 of equity has become 150,000, meaning 200% returns, and not coincidentally it is exactly equal to the leverage taken. Then comes the interest part. We have to pay for our lunch, remember. So it is the fixed part. 10% on debt will be 5,000, we have to pay this 5,000 regardless of our returns. Next column is the returns to equity adjusting the interest. I should have wrote including interest, sorry for typo. Last column is percentage return on equity adjusted with interest, which is a realistic scenario. See how equity changes with leverage. If I increase the leverage to 3x, equity becomes 1/3 of total capital. As we increase the leverage, equity portion shrinks and debt portion increases. Now focus on this cell that tells how much capital reduction or loss in capital is required to completely wipe the equity. At 4x leverage, only 25% loss in capital results in 100% loss in equity, while with 2x leverage, 50% loss in capital results in 100% loss in equity. So higher the leverage, higher the chances of going out of your money. Now let's understand this double-edged sword called margin investing. First let me tell what this graph is. The horizontal line is returns on our position, the first column. Now the blue line is pure equity returns, second is returns on equity after paying interest. So first I am changing leverage to 5x, you can see the graph steepens. The returns on equity are 5x, the returns on our position looks great, like some money-making machine. But also see when the return on position go equal to or below 20%, we have lost all our equity, but including interest, the equity has become zero even before 20% mark. We need to provide more equity to the broker to hold our position from this point. Now if I change the leverage to 10, graph steepens even more. Just allow me a second. And if you notice at 10% loss all our equity is gone. So we have seen, higher the leverage, both profits and losses are more sensitive to the returns on our position.